Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about topic markers and subject markers. And they're very annoying whenever you have to use them, right? Because they're very confusing. I'm going to make them very clear today. So you might have learned just simply that 는 are particles for topic and 이가 are particles for subject. That's why you get confused so much. To truly understand the difference between them, you need to clearly understand the subtle nuances they carry in real Korean conversations. Now, let's compare 는 and 이가. We'll use the same sentence and simply switch the particle to see what changes. In this sentence, 는 indicates that 그녀, she, is the topic of the sentence. From a Korean speaker's perspective, it gives a feeling of, now let's talk about her. As a result, when people hear a sentence like this, they naturally pay attention to what will be said about her next. So here's an easy way to think about it. When Koreans hear 는, they naturally expect that important information to come after it. Then what about 이가? 이가 marks the noun before it as the subject of the sentence. But if you memorize it only this way, you never truly understand the difference between 는 and 이가. Just like 는, you need to understand 이가 from the perspective of information focus. So basically, 이가 puts the focus on the subject itself, the noun that comes before it. In that sense, it's the opposite of 는. With 는, listeners tend to focus on the information that comes after it. With 이가, listeners tend to focus on the noun that comes before it. And that's the key difference. So let me give you an example this way. We'll take this sentence, 그녀는 한국인입니다. And replace 는 with 이가. Then the sentence becomes 그녀가 한국인입니다. Here's where the nuance becomes different. By using 이가, the focus of information shifts toward the noun before the particle. In other words, it creates the effect of emphasizing the subject itself. So when you say 그녀가 한국인입니다, it sounds like you're emphasizing that she is the Korean person. On the other hand, 그녀는 한국인입니다 feels more neutral since the focus is placed more on the information that follows 는. It feels like, the sentence simply describes her as being Korean. So, Korean speakers often feel something like this. When you say 그녀가 한국인입니다, it sounds like it's her who is Korean. But when you say 그녀는 한국인입니다, it sounds like, as for her, she's Korean. So this is a general feeling Korean speakers get from these two particles. Then, how do you decide whether to use 은 or 는 and 이 or 가 between them? I'm not going to teach this, as a simple mechanical rule like use this one if the noun ends in a consonant, and that one if it doesn't. Instead, I'm going to show you a way of thinking that will be useful far beyond just these particles. Once you understand this, you'll be able to apply the same principle when using many other particles and endings in Korean. So, pay close attention. These will help you a lot later on. Let's say the noun before 는 or 이가 ends with the final consonant, 받침. The possible final consonant sounds are 그, 느, 드, 르, m, p, 응, right? Try pronouncing them in these syllables. 각, 간, 칼, 감, 갑, 강. Notice what happens when you pronounce each final consonant, your speech organs close. For example, when you say 각, 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 you close off the airflow at the back of your throat. And when you say 간, 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 you close the space between the tip of your tongue and the area behind your upper teeth. In other words, using a final consonant requires your speech organs to close. Now, imagine adding 는 immediately afterward. Since 는 begins with 느, your speech organs have to close again right away. When these closing motion happens repeatedly, pronunciation becomes more difficult. For example, what happens if we add 는 to 한국인? 한국인는, pretty difficult to say, right? Now let's try 은 instead. Because 은 starts with a vowel sound, your mouth naturally opens before moving into the next consonant. These makes the pronunciation flow much more smoothly. That's why nouns that end in a final consonant, like 한국인, take 은 rather than 는. So it goes 한국인, 은. So a simple way to think about it is this. When a noun ends with a final consonant, Korean often chooses the particle form that starts with the vowel because it's easier to pronounce. So when we use 는, it's the opposite case. I mean, when the noun ends in a vowel. So let's look at an example. The word 그녀 ends in a vowel sound, right? So 녀, 녀, 녀. Now imagine adding 은, which also begins with a vowel sound. 그녀은. So hard to pronounce, isn't it? When you pronounce 녀, your mouth stays open. Then, to pronounce 은, you also have to open your speech organs right away. 그녀은, 그녀은, because it starts with the vowel. In this situation, that transition is not very smooth. I mean, just like I mentioned before, like 그녀은, 그녀은. Instead, Korean inserts a particle that starts with a consonant. That is why you use 는 instead of 은 here. So it goes 그녀는. Much easier to pronounce, right? So the basic idea is this. If the noun ends in a final consonant, use 은. And if a noun ends in a vowel, use 는. So to summarize, repeatedly opening or repeatedly closing your speech organs makes pronunciation difficult. That's why we use 은 when a noun ends in a final consonant and 는 when it doesn't. So remember, 한국인, 은, 그녀, 는. The same principle applies to 이, 가. In the case of 한국인, the last syllable ends in a final consonant, so your speech organs close. That is why 이, which begins with the vowel sound, should be added. In the case of 그녀, the last syllable ends in a vowel, so your speech organs remain open. In that case, 가, which begins with the consonant sound and closes the speech organs, should be used instead. And from now on, let's talk about another function of 은, 는. It can be used to emphasize the subject by contrasting it with something else. Don't get confused here though. 이가 can also be used for emphasis. The difference is that 은는 basically carries a sense of contrast when it emphasizes something, whereas 이가 does not necessarily imply contrast. So let me give you an example. There are two sentences. 오빠는 자요, 저는 놀아요. Here, 오빠 means older brother. 자요 means to sleep. And 저 means I. And 놀아요 means to play. So, what they mean is that my older brother is sleeping and I'm playing. And let me put it this way. By using 는, you're contrasting me and my older brother. So if someone asks, 오빠는 자고 너는 뭐 해? Just by adding 는, it can mean your older brother is sleeping. But what about you? In other words, the question establishes contrast between the two of you by using 는. That is why 저는 놀아요 sounds natural when you answer to this question. Because 는 has the function of contrasting two people here. If you answer like 제가 놀아요 to these questions, the contrast disappears. Instead, 가 just simply emphasizes me as the person doing the action. And since the question expects a contrasting answer, shifting the focus to just, simply me just by using 가, it makes the response sound awkward. And now, I'll show you how to answer different types of questions that contain question words. Now, what about this question? 누가 자요? Who's sleeping? would you answer like 그녀는 자요 or 그녀가 자요? Here, 누가 is a combination of 누구, who, and the subject particle 이가. So, unlike statements in questions, the focus of sentence is determined by the position of the question word. In other words, if the question word appears in the subject position, the focus of the information is on the subject. And if the question word appears in the predicate position, the focus of the information is on the predicate. For those of you who don't know what predicate is, it's like everything except the subject. It tells us what the subject does, is or is like. Now let's look at the sentence from earlier again. 누가 자요? Here, the question word 누구 is placed in the subject position. So the focus of the information is on the subject. Therefore, the answer should also be a sentence where the focus of information is placed on the subject. That is why 그녀가 자요 sounds like the normal answer. If you answer 그녀는 자요, the answer goes beyond the usual form of a normal response. For example, listeners may interpret it as meaning that you're contrasting her with someone else, as if you were saying, other people aren't sleeping, but she is. Now, let's look at another type of question. This time, we'll look at questions where the focus of the information is not on the subject, but on the predicate. In other words, these are questions in which the question word appears in the predicate. Like this, 이름이 뭐예요? Here, the subject is 이름, and the predicate is 뭐예요, which comes after the subject. And the question word here is 뭐, is the shortened form of 무엇, which means what. So what this sentence means is, what is your name? Since the question word appears in the predicate, the focus of the information is also on the predicate. It means when you answer, you should also put the focus on the predicate. So how would you answer this question? You have two choices. 저는 에릭이에요. 제가 에릭이에요. As I mentioned earlier, 은는 places the focus on the predicate, while 이가 places the focus on the subject. Since the focus of the question, 이름이 뭐예요, is on the predicate, the natural answer is 저는 에릭이에요. What about 제가 에릭이에요? That would sound like you're going beyond a normal answer and putting special emphasis on me. So you only use it when you want to go beyond a neutral answer and specifically emphasize that you are Eric. Finally, let me tell you about a special case where 이가 is used. We use 이가 when we want to introduce a new piece of information. Let's start with the first case. When you've just noticed something new, for example, imagine that you suddenly notice it's raining or snowing outside the window and you want to tell someone about this new information. In situations like this, Koreans typically use 이가 to convey that newly noticed fact. Second, in fairy tales or novels, when a new character is introduced, like in the phrase, once upon a time there lived a tiger, Korean typically uses 이가 to introduce that character for the first time, like this. 옛날에 호랑이가 살았어요. 옛날에 means once upon a time. 호랑이 means a tiger. And 살았어요 means lived. It is the past tense form of 살다. Don't just memorize mechanically what you learned today. Try making your own sentences using as many words you already know as possible.